So in the previous class, I gave you an example problem. Did you find the answer to that problem? Standard deviation of the problem went somewhere like this. We had class and frequency was given, and the class was 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8 to 10, and 10 to 12. The frequencies were 2, 4, 6, 4, 2, 6. Right, what is the standard deviation? Did you all solve the problem? Hmm? Are you able to hear me, Lakshmi and Reshma?
Yes.
Okay, so did you all solve the problem then? Okay, we'll do that problem anyway. Right. Now, if you want to find the standard deviation, you have the formula sigma of capital X minus X bar whole square into F divided by sigma F. Now look at the individual components. First I have to find capital X. Capital X will be the midpoint of the class. This will be the mean of the class. And this is the total frequency of the class. So total frequency ऐसा ही पता चल जाता मेरे को. This is 10, this is 10, and this is 4. So my total frequency is 24. Right, now first finding midpoints. Capital X is 1, 3, 2 plus 0 by 2, 4 plus 2 by 2, 6 plus 4 by 2, ऐसा करते हैं. 5, 7, 9 and 11. To find the mean, you need to find xf or fx, whatever you take. So you multiply f into x, you get 2, 12, 30, 28, 18 and 66. If you add all of these, you will get 156. Now mean is equal to mean of group data is equal to sigma of fx divided by sigma of f is equal to ये 156 है यहाँ का divided by 24. This will come somewhere close to 6.5. 6.5. ठीक है. और your mean is 6.5. Remember that. The next step is subtracting the mean from each individual midpoint term. So you take capital X minus X bar. So each individual term में से आप mean divide subtract करेंगे. So you will do 1 minus 6.5, 3 minus 6.5, 5 minus 6.5 and so on. So 1 minus 6.5 will be minus 5.5. This will be minus 3.5, minus 1.5, 0.5, 2.5 and 4.5. Square all of these. Capital X minus small x bar whole square. You will get 30.25, 12.25, 2.25, 0.25, 6.25 and 20.25. If any step you are not understanding or if you want me to repeat, please feel free to ask, because even after this we'll do one more problem and after that we'll move on to the next topic. Okay, we'll already have done standard deviation for 3-4 classes now. So you multiply this with the frequency, multiply this with the frequency. So capital X minus small x bar whole square into F. So you take each of these frequency term and you multiply each of these with this. So 2 into 30.25, 4 into 12.25, so on and so forth. So 2 into 30.25 will be 60.5. This will be 49. This will be 23 sorry, 13.5. This will be 1. This will be 12.5, and this will be 121.5. Okay. Add up all of these, you will get 258. This is your summation of capital X minus small x bar whole square into f. Finally, for your standard deviation, you will divide this with this under a root. So your standard deviation is equal to root over sigma of capital X minus small x bar whole square into f divided by sigma of f is equal to root over 258 divided by 24. If you do this, you will get root over 10.75. This will come close to 3.27. Okay, that is how you do the problem of standard deviation. I'll give you one final example problem. Try to solve that problem and we'll see from there. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time. That will be the last standard deviation problem that we do. Now, weight in kgs is given 60 to 64, 64 to 68, 68 to 72, and 72 to 76. Frequency is 10, 9, 7, and 2. Find the standard deviation. Chalo. It's 12:11. I'll give you 5 minutes. Try to find the standard deviation. Don't use a calculator. All right. What is the answer that you got?
Sir, 6.8.
6.8. Okay. What about the others? Okay. Right. Now the first thing, if you look at the formula of standard deviation, root over sigma of capital X minus small x bar whole square into f divided by sigma of f. So the first three things that you have to find out is what is capital X, what is mean, and what is sigma x. Okay? So sigma f, sorry. So sigma f you can find directly like this. If you add up all of these frequencies, you will get 28. Okay? 10 plus 9 is 19, 26, 28. Okay. Now, first thing that you have to do is find capital X midpoint. If you add 60 plus 64 divided by 2, you will get 62. Okay. 64 plus 68 divided by 2 will be 66. So 4 is the difference. Next one will be 70. Next one will be 74. Okay. Right. Now do XF or FX, whatever you call it. F into X. 620, 594, 490, 148. Okay. Now mean is equal to, you add up all of these values, you will get 1852. Mean X bar is equal to 1852 divided by, so it is summation of fx divided by summation of f. So I'm directly doing it like this, divided by 28 will be equal to what? 66.14. Okay, remember this, 66.14 is our mean. Okay, I'm erasing this for now. Capital X minus x bar is equal to, remember mean is 66.14. This is our mean. So 62 minus 66.14 will be minus 4.14, then minus 0.14, 3.86, and 7.86. Square all of these values. You will get 17.13 and 0. This will be very close to 0. So this answer will come 0.0196. I can take this value as 0.01. Okay. 14.89, and this value will come close to 61.7. ठीक है, 61.77 आता. Anyway, so the next step is multiplying frequency with this. So capital X minus small x bar whole square into f. So 10 into 17.3 is 17.13 is 171.3. Then 9 into this is 0.09. 7 into 14.89 is 104.23, and 61.7 into 2 is 123.4. Add up all of these values, you will get 399.02. This is your summation of capital X minus small x bar whole square into f. So the last thing you'll do is divide this value with this value. Okay. So sigma is equal to root over 399.02 divided by 28. Now I can write that same value. Technically, if you continue to solve this, you will essentially get 3.7. 3.77 is your answer. If you want, I can do the whole thing as well, but essentially you will get 3.77. Okay, you can remove those 2 points, divide 39902 divided by 28, you will get a certain value. You will take the root of that whole value. Okay, this is the answer that you should be getting. In case if you made any mistake somewhere, please check. Okay, 3.77. I'll just reverse this here. See, this is the point where we did. If you made any mistakes here, please check. समझ में आया कैसा करता है स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन? So I'm hoping that you guys understood it. This is one of the most important topics for your exams perspective. So make sure that you practice it quite a lot. We've done already 5-6 problems of this in the class itself. So I'll moving on from here. Right. Now coming to the next topic, we have range. We have a few small topics left in this chapter. We'll do range, probability, then we'll do normal probability. Now, first of all, what is range? A range will be the difference between highest and lowest value of a data. Okay. Now, range is represented by H. So, sorry, range is represented by R. You will have R is equal to H minus L. What does that mean? Let us suppose, for example, you have a set of data given like this: 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21, 23, and 26. All right. Your range will be the highest value minus lowest value of the data. The lowest value is 3, highest value is 26. So the range of the data is 26 minus 3 is 23. That's it. Very simple. Okay. I'll give you an example. Try to find the range. 5, 56, 68, 99, 2, 13, 4, 16. Find the range. What is the range of the data?
Eleven, sir.
Range is 11 now. How did you get 11? No, like literally, how did you get 11? What are the values that you used?
Same before one you have done, no, sir. From starting one, then
Range is highest number minus lowest number, I told.
lowest number.
तो ये पूरे data set का highest
Yes,
number क्या
sir.
है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I have
वही highest number. I gave you to you in sequence.
14.
14 now. How?
Two only lowest, no, sir. Then
What is the highest in that series?
wow, yeah. Yes, sir. Totally, I confused you. Sir. Sir, sorry, sir. I confused you.
It's okay. This is your range. Right. Now coming to probability. That's it. Range is very simple. That is the only part of range that you have to concern yourself with. Now coming to range, it's probability. Probability of any event will be the number of times a favorable event is occurring divided by the total number of outcomes. What does that mean? Probability is given by the function f of e, or you can also write p of e. Probability of one particular event that you want, whatever favorable event that you are looking for, is given by small n divided by capital N. This will represent number of outcomes favorable, number of outcomes favorable for event E, and this will represent total number of outcomes. Let us use that example. Let us suppose I have a coin, 2 rupees coin, and I am trying to find out the probability of getting heads. Okay, I toss that coin, I flick the coin, and I am trying to find out what is the probability of getting heads. Okay, when you toss a coin, you know, in several sporting events, before they start a match, they will do a coin toss, and with that coin toss, who will be the starting side, who will be the chasing side, that is decided. So let us suppose I am trying to find out what is the probability of getting heads. This will be equal to 1 by 2. The total number of chances, or the total number of events or outcomes that can occur, is 1 heads and 1 tails. Okay, for my heads only one outcome is possible, so 1 by 2 will be my answer. Total number of outcomes is 2. Number of outcomes favorable to me is only 1. Okay, so the probability of getting heads, or the probability of that event, will be equal to 1 by 2. One probability, 1 by 2 probability रहता है इसका. I'll give you another example. Let us suppose there are 100 babies. Yeah, let me put it this way. 100 babies are born in a hospital per day, out of whom 10 are underweight, 12 are, yeah, 15 are overweight, and 85 नहीं, 75 are normal weight. What is the probability of finding overweight children? समझ में आया question? There are 100 babies that are being born in one hospital every day. ठीक है? Out of those 100 babies that are being born in one day, 10 babies are underweight, 15 are overweight, and 75 are of normal weight. You are asked to find out what is the probability of an overweight baby being born. Did you understand the question? What that fellow is asking? So, in this scenario, I hope you understood the question. I'm not getting any response, so I'll take that as a yes. So, total number of outcomes कितने हैं? Total outcomes is equal to 100, because there are only 100 babies that are coming out. There will be 100 outcomes. Okay. Overweight babies were 15, underweight babies were 10, normal babies were 75. So P of O, or probability of overweight babies, is equal to small n divided by capital N. In this scenario, small n will be our O, because they are the total number of favorable events. Favorable events in this scenario will be the overweight babies. So is equal to 15 divided by 100. Okay. So I can also write that as 5 threes, 5 20s. The probability of finding overweight baby in that hospital is 3 by 20 or 15 by 10. So there is a 15% chance that a baby that is being born in that hospital will be overweight. समझ में आया? What is probability? Did you all understand what is probability? Okay. Again.
One second.
Excuse me. Your voice is breaking, Ma. Can you put it in the chat?
Sir,
Or
once again repeat.
Once again, sir. Once again.
which part did you not understand? We'll continue from there exactly. See, in this question that I just told you, let us suppose you are working in Yashoda Hospital. Okay, example.
And
And in Yashoda Hospital, let us suppose every day there are 1000 babies being born. Okay. Out of those 1000 babies, let us suppose there are 150 babies which are overweight. Okay. What is the normal weight of a baby when they are born? What should be the normal weight?
2.6.
2.5 to 2.7 is the normal weight.
Exactly 2.7 ही रहना. Is there a range?
Up to 3, sir. 3
2.7 to 3 kilos or pounds?
kilos.
Kilos.
Oh, okay. So this is the normal weight. Now I am telling that 15 babies are overweight, meaning let us suppose all of these are over 3 kgs, 150 150 babies, and there are 100 babies which are underweight, meaning they are less than 2.7 kgs, and they are कितने बचते 750 are normal. Okay, they are under this range. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? I am
Yes,
telling
sir.
in one
Yes, sir.
hospital, in one day, 1000 babies are being born. Out of those 1000, 150 are overweight, 100 are underweight, 750 are normal. If you add up all of this, 150 plus 100 plus 750, you will get 1000. Okay? Now, if I want to find out what is the probability of getting only overweight babies, what are the number of chances that I can get only overweight babies? That will be P of overweight babies is equal to small n divided by capital N. Any probability is equal to number of favorable events. Number of favorable events. In this scenario, we are looking for overweight babies. The question is how many times overweight babies can be formed. So we are specifically looking at overweight babies. So favorable event will be for this overweight baby. The number of times overweight babies are being formed. This is total outcome. Total number of outcomes. I can also tell this is total number of babies that are being formed. The total chances that I can get. In a heads or tail question as well, in the previous explanation that I gave you, when I take one coin, I only have two chances. I can only have two probabilities. I can either get a heads or I can get a tail, nothing in between. Okay? So the chance of the total number of chances or the total number of outcomes that I can get is only two. If I get heads, it will be 1 by 2. If I get tails, it will be 1 by 2. Same probability, na? Now, in this scenario, probability of getting overweight baby is equal to, this is 150 because there are 150 babies being born who are overweight, divided by total number of babies is 1000. So same, 5 threes, 5 20s. So the probability of getting an overweight baby in one day is 3 by 20. समझ में आया अभी कैसा करा मैं? Or I can also tell that there is a 15% chance that there will be a overweight baby being found because 15 by 100 है ना? 15% chance that overweight baby will be born in that hospital. Understood? या अभी भी doubt है कहीं?
Understood, sir.
All of you पक्का? So you'll have to specifically tell which part you did not understand. नहीं तो फिर से पूरा repeat कर रहे हो it will be there's no point in repeating the whole thing. If you did not understand a specific part, let me know, or else we'll move forward. Okay. Right. Now we'll look at normal probability distribution. So what is normal probability distribution? Now this is used kind of one of the most important topics in statistics altogether. This will tell you what is the probability of one particular phenomenon occurring using two variables. You will use the mean of a data and you will use standard deviation of a data. Through this you will make predictions. ठीक है. Normal distribution or normal probability distribution is a function that will describe how values are varied on a scale. So essentially how values are distributed. Let us suppose I give you one. Hello, this is the normal probability distribution scale. If you look in the middle, there is one line going called a mean. Okay, and on either side you have one standard deviation, and on the other side there is -1 standard deviation. If you see the graph, in middle of that graph there is a hyperbole. Okay, you have a hyperbole graph, and in this graph you will be able to see that exactly in the middle you have the mean. Okay, so in any data set I have the middle value, which is the mean. At the difference of one standard deviation I will have +1 and -1. What does this signify in terms of probability? Let us suppose I give you an example in terms of acha, let us suppose I go to a school and I try to measure what is, let us suppose there are 1000 girls in a school, example. Okay, imagine there are 1000 girls in one school. I try to find what is the average height of those girls. Okay, imagine I go to a school and I try to find what is the average height of girls in that school, or mean height of of the girls in that school. Let us suppose my mean value comes around 1.5 meters or 150 centimeters. समझ में आ रहा एग्जाम्पल आप लोगों को? I go to a school, there are 1000 girls in that school. I will perform a small survey and I will find out the average height or the mean height of all the girls in that school. Mean height. Okay, now mean height will include all from the shortest girl to the tallest girl and the exact middle value in between them. That is the mean. Now if I take the standard deviation, let us suppose our standard deviation is 0.1 or 10 centimeters. Let us suppose our standard deviation is 10 centimeters. Example. It means that at a difference of +10 and -10 centimeters, I will have 68% of the population. I'll repeat that point once again. From the mean, let us suppose my mean height of the girls in 1000 girls that I took, out of them the mean height is 1.5 meters. I'll draw that same graph again like this. Let us suppose this is my graph. Okay, and what I do is I will take a middle value here somewhere. Let us suppose यहाँ पर मीन आया. ठीक है, all right. Now let us suppose our mean value is this. Mean value is 1.5 meters. Okay, our mean was 1.5 meters. So out of 1000 girls, their mean height was 1.5 meters or 150 centimeters with a standard deviation of 0.1 meter. Okay, or 10 centimeters. Now that means for every one standard deviation, meaning standard deviation can happen. If you remember when I was explaining standard deviation, I told you standard deviation is the average distance between every data point and the mean. So if I take the data like this, अगर अलग अलग data point ऐसा है and this is the mean, the distance between this point and this, the distance between this and this, the distance between this and this will give you standard deviations. ठीक है, what is the deviation from that mean value? ठीक है, so standard deviation is you are taking the average of all those deviations. Now I got the standard deviation as 0.1 meters or 10 centimeters. It means that at a standard deviation of one, let us suppose at one standard deviation, if I take this as one standard deviation and one minus standard deviation, this will be 1.4 meters and this will be 1.6 meters. Most of my girls will fall, most of the girls in that school will fall in this category. Your in your population 34 point, यहाँ पर देखो, you'll see it in the graph, 34.1% of the population will be one standard deviation less than the mean, and 34% of the population will be one standard deviation more than the mean. I can tell that same point in another way. 68% of the population will fall under one standard deviation difference from the mean, positive or negative. I'll repeat that point once again. 34% of the population is falling one standard deviation less and one standard deviation more than the mean, because I have 34.13% of the population at 1.4 and 34.13 population at 1.6, meaning from 1.4 to 1.6 I have 68% of the population. Out of the total 1000 girls, 680 girls or 682 girls are falling under 1.4 to 1.6. Did you understand till here? यहाँ तक समझ में आया what is normal probability distribution? I'm calculating the probability of a particular height in this scenario. Now you can use this normal probability distribution in any scenario. I'll give you another example. Normal probability distribution can also be used to calculate the average delivery time. Let us suppose Jayanti owns one pizza shop. Example. Okay. Let us suppose Jayanti owns one Pizza Hut or Domino's. Okay. Example. And she is the owner of that pizza store. She is trying to find out what is the average time that I can deliver my product. Okay. Let us suppose we take one standard radius from their store. Let us suppose their store is somewhere in Secunderabad, some place. Okay. And they are delivering in a radius of 5 kilometers. Okay. Around that store, in a radius of 5 kilometers, they are delivering their pizza. Now she finds out that on an average, the mean time that it takes for her delivery person to deliver a pizza is 20 minutes with a standard deviation of 5 minutes. It means that if I take one standard deviation, if I take one value of standard deviation, 68% of the pizza deliveries will be over in between 25 to 35 minutes. Okay? If I take, sorry, not 25 to 25 minutes, let us suppose our mean value is 20. So my this thing, the difference between two standard deviations, or if I take one standard deviation on the left and one on the right, I will have one at 15 minutes, the other at 25 minutes. So 68% of my deliveries are over between 15 minutes and 25 minutes. समझ में आ रहा example अभी?
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys are able to understand. Normal probability distribution can be used in any scenario to find the probability of things. You are trying to find out the number of chances something can happen. Okay, that is probability essentially. You are trying to find out the number of chances one particular event can occur, or the probability of one particular outcome to occur. So in this scenario, the mean time to deliver a pizza is 20 minutes at the difference of one standard deviation, either left or right, meaning my delivery person can either deliver 5 minutes earlier or 5 minutes later. So on an average, in 68% of the cases, I will have my pizza delivered within 15 minutes to 25 minutes. If I take two standard deviations, it will add a little more, 13%, 13.5% on the left and 13.5% on the right. It means that in 95% of cases, 95% of time, 95.44% of time, my pizza will be delivered within 10 minutes to a maximum of 30 minutes. Okay, two standard deviations ले रहा हूं मैं. So instead of adding 5 and subtracting 5, I will add 10 and I will subtract 10 from my mean. My mean is 20. I can put that even further. The fastest time of delivery is between 5 minutes to 35 minutes. How am I getting that? If I take 3 standard deviations from the left and from the right, okay, if I take 3 standard deviations from the mean towards the right and towards the left, I am subtracting 3 standard deviations or I'm adding 3 standard deviations. It means that to that mean value, which is 20, I am subtracting it by 15 or I'm adding 15. So 99% of my deliveries will be over between 5 minutes to 35 minutes. That is how a pizza company is able to tell guaranteed delivery in 30 minutes or 35 minutes. They will look at such a graph and tell you the probability. Okay? Until and unless something goes bad, their product should be delivered in this amount of time. Now I only gave a example in minutes. For example, let us suppose you must have ordered something from Amazon or Flipkart till now. I'm sure kabhi na kabhi you must have known someone who has ordered something from Amazon or Flipkart. I'm sure. Kare now, or any online store, Snapdeal, Myntra, etc. कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ ऑर्डर करे होंगे ना? No, no one has ordered ever anything. Whatever it is, pen, pencil, book, or whatever you want to order. क्या हुआ? I'm not getting any response altogether. Let us suppose you have ordered something from Amazon. Amazon will give you a delivery estimate. That delivery estimate is based on a normal probability curve. On an average, how long does it take for them to package that product? How long does it take them to ship that product? How long will it take for them to deliver that product? At each and every step, they will put up normal probability curve, and at the end of that, they will give you one particular time. Now, a computer will do all of this for you, but essentially, whenever you order something from Amazon, immediately they will tell this delivery will be done within 3 days or 4 days. They will give you the date exactly. If you are a Prime member, they will give you within 1 day. Now they will rush that order very quickly or something like that. So you get the point. That is how normal probability distribution works. I hope you understood this topic, normal probability. With that, we have completed your chapter, this chapter. In the next one, we'll look at correlation. If you have doubts or if you want me to repeat anything, please feel free to ask. Okay. Okay, check attendance. Jayanti, K. Lakshmi, K. Sravanti, Rashi, Ratna Mary, Reshma, and V. Lavanya. Chalo, I'll see you tomorrow then.